Move on. Everyone's good up to that point, right? Okay. So treatment again, at this point, deep fascial techniques, that's your stecco, fascial distortion, whatever you want to do, that works. The transverse nerve growth that I just showed you, and local neurodynamics, which is the transverse nerve growth, and then if you want to move the head. You can do what you like, I just get better results by fixing the head and moving the nerve, because I know I'm moving the nerve as much as possible. Okay, that's the goal, is to make sure that damn thing moves. Alrighty. And so we have the trap. That's basically what you guys were doing before, the occipital ridge. You guys have already done that. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Okay? Same thing, as it starts to pierce the ridge and start going up to the skull. So that's all in here. So basically, you're going to start from C3. You're going to palpate all the way up. You'll feel semispinalis, and then you'll feel the trap, and then you'll work your way up, all the way up. Okay? Great. And obviously, we're going to do scapular stability exercise, postural consideration, deep neck flexors. But I'm showing you how to move the nerve and address those chronic headaches that just don't seem to get better. This is start to finish. All right. So now let's talk about, this is a random paper that I found that hasn't been reproduced. But essentially what they did is they went in and wrapped a wire around the greater occipital nerve and then did x-ray studies to see how you tension that nerve. So we actually know how to do a tension test on the greater occipital nerve from this. This one study that hasn't been reproduced. So basically the way you would create it is you do contralateral cervical flexion, slight cervical flexion, and then contralateral rotation. So what does that look like? So we're going to do contralateral, that should be lateral flexion, sorry. So you laterally flex, flex, and rotate away. So, got any? Laterally flex, flex, rotate away. You feel that stretch?
So it's on this side?
Yeah, we're doing the right side. And everyone's going to be a little bit different. Got it? That is, you got tension there?
A little bit.
So that's how we create tension from C3 to the skull, right? You can come closer now. Okay? Now, we want to add in the spinal cord. We want to add in the spinal cord. We want to put tension in the spinal cord to the myodermal bridge, to the nerve, as it travels through the muscle, up into the skull. Okay? So all those things that I just said, we're going to do flexion, lateral flexion, rotate away, slump the back, let's tension the spinal cord, straighten the leg, and then we just create more tension. Do you feel tension in your head?
Mm-hmm. So it's all, so you're doing pitch lateral though, for the leg?
Yeah.
First.
Yeah. Can I do that on you? So we treated him just a second ago. When I pushed on the nerve, it recreated a headache. And then we treated the nerve, and he felt 75% better. I'm assuming that the slump test with a greater occipital nerve bias is going to recreate those symptoms once again. Let's see. So I'm starting from the top because I want to put the most tension in the top of the spinal cord and the greater occipital nerve. So let's go right there for you. Flex your spine. Good. There. There. So we could do a slump test like that, but what I prefer to do is what we call milking the gun.
Milk me.
Milk. Yes. Because we're really mature here at Neuro Centric Approach. So we're going to incorporate the skin, we're going to incorporate the muscles, we're going to incorporate this neurodynamics, and we're going to incorporate everything along the path. So what we do here, I'm going to wrap my head around. I'm going to traction the trap because it pierces the trap, right? I'm going to use my finger, cup around the head, the occipital ridge, push down, push up, push down, and then I do the motion. we just said. Lateral flexion, flexion, contralateral rotation. Down, flex away, and we just, and we can, for flexible people, we can incorporate more flexion. He doesn't need it. But this is pretty much solves almost majority of it.
Are you doing that with a cup on or just with your traction in the fingers?
I'm tractioning the trap down,
Yeah.
and I'm tractioning the trap up.
So you don't necessarily have a cup on when you're doing that?
Never tried it. You could, but
Gonna be tough. Don't need to.
it's also a lot of work. I mean, I like to be lazy and do as little as possible, and then they can. And then if it makes it feel better, I have them do it themselves. Wrap their hand over their head and do the same damn thing. Got it?
Yeah.
So now we're going to do this exact idea for every single nerve interface of the upper extremity. You see the level of detail here? Because when you have that level of detail and you can access that level of detail and do it right on the fly, that's what we did with you, right? Symptoms gone 10 minutes, or not gone, 75%. But that's what I did with her. I just skipped a bunch of steps. Okay? So you guys pair up. Palpate the nerve as it exits C3, wraps around the obliquus capitis, goes into the semispinalis, and then work its way up. Do the slump test. Do every single aspect of the treatment of the nerve, palpation of the nerve, and make sure that you're pushing hard enough that you can feel that hard incompressible tube that is a nerve, and make sure that you can move it where it needs to be moved. All right? Side to side, up, down. Follow the tension. Fix people's shit.